Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. And now, here's your host, Randy Harris.
Welcome to WFPC Podcasting. This is a weekly look at news, information, and the people in and around Pike County. Today's visit is with longtime friend, Pike County Sheriff Jason McKinney. In some circles, the sheriff is better known as JK. Most people call you JK. I've always called you Jason. I'd call you Sheriff now. Sheriff, you've always lived in Pike County.
Lived here all my life. Absolutely. Yeah.
And you went through Winslow Elementary?
Went through Winslow Elementary until half of my fifth grade year, and then we moved to Petersburg. Okay. And then I've lived in Petersburg area the rest of my life.
You went to Pike Central?
Went to Pike Central High School, middle school. Yep.
High school. You take a couple of different jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got married?
Got married.
Started having kids?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, August will be 30 years.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got two boys. Both of them doing very well. One's married and one's in college. So,
wow. That's great.
Yeah, doing good.
When did you start? Time gets fuzzy with me sometimes. When did you start with the Sheriff's Department?
So I started with the Sheriff's Department probably back in around 2009, 2010, working, and we started doing the SRO program at Pike Central High School. Our school had never had a school resource officer, and that was one of the years right in that area was when the SROs kind of started maybe making their way into the school systems. Done a lot of research on it. Went to Sheriff Britton at the time. Him and Todd Metters was in office, and from that point on, we thought it would be a good idea. And I had already been out there at the school working with the school and I was actually a part-time deputy. So it was a good fit for me because I'd coached for years, in our school system, so I knew most of the kids. So we kind of transformed into that position into there, and
it was just a natural transition.
Yeah,
to you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Student resource officer or school resource officer?
School resource officer, yeah. So I was the first one. I covered Otwell, Winslow, Petersburg, Otwell, Winslow, Petersburg, and in the high school and middle school. So I was busy. I mean, we had one person. Now we're up to three. Actually, we have four. We have three school-paid SROs, and then we have one full-time deputy that oversees the high school. Yeah.
So you've got one at Petersburg.
We have one at Winslow, and then Winslow,
Pike Central.
Then we have one in middle school, and then we have one in the high school. Yeah, and they stay busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even just going back to 2009, but going back to when you were a kid, it's a different world out there.
Oh, it's amazing how much things has changed. Not just locally, but our government has changed so much. And then you put that into a local stance of where we are now. Our kids, I feel our kids are so much smarter than what we were back in back when I was a kid. Yeah. Everything's at their fingertips. Not too many times that I don't see a kid that doesn't walk around with their phone. Everything's on their phone. I mean, the world is right there at their palm of their, the tip of their fingers. So, everything's there for them.
They don't communicate the way we did when we were kids.
No. Communication is through text messages with them.
Not face-to-face.
Not face-to-face, yeah. I still like talking to people.
Yeah. In fact, I've noticed some kids just don't know how to sit down and look eye to eye and explain what's really going on.
Yeah. It's hard for them. Yeah. They like to express their opinions by text, not face-to-face.
You had scheduled for Monday night a program in conjunction with EMS, Sheriff's Department, other community groups, where you were going to meet in the parking lot Monday night. Storms were coming in. It didn't happen. Tell us what that was about.
So it's going to be our first annual. It's called Pike County Night Out, and all this is I had Deputy Lee and Deputy Oscathorpe came to me a while back and asked me about putting something together for the community, which I told him, I said, I've been wanting to do something like this. Nationally, there's a national night out for police officers and first responders. We kind of took that and just made it our own into a Pike County night out. And what it is giving the community a chance to come out and see who we all are, see the equipment we have, and what we actually do. There was going to be some different things. We was going to have K9 demonstrations. We was going to have EMS was going to have a helicopter come in. Fire departments was going to have some of their stuff set up and be able to show and tell some of the things that they do. So it's just an opportunity for the public, the Pike County people, to be able to come in and just see the people that responds to calls.
So if you've got it rescheduled, and to the viewer at home, if you're watching today, Friday, it's tonight.
Yeah.
If you catch this on Saturday morning, you missed it.
You missed it, absolutely. So we had to reschedule to Friday, and the reason why we moved it to Friday, we had the storms on Monday night, and then we're going to have some inflatables. We're going to have food trucks out there. So Alyssa and Kane has put a lot of time into organizing this event to make it the best it could. Mother Nature takes the lead on it and says, "Now let's postpone this." So we did. Friday night it works with the school parking lot.
No football game.
No football game. There's no volleyball. There's no so that was the reason why we picked Friday night. So we stay out of the way of a lot of that.
Well, hopefully you'll have a great turnout.
Hopefully we have a good turnout. Like I said, this is all for the public. We want this for the public, and it's not about us. It's about them coming out and meeting the people that does the work and takes the calls. So.
There is I think we're probably better than most, but there is a rotation of officers. We get people, and there's more than when it was just a couple of people in the sheriff's department. It's grown.
Yeah.
You've got a different society today.
Yeah.
And you've got an interstate that comes right through 69. We'll get back on that, but who can we expect to see? Name all of your officers.
So
got you.
So I have myself as a sheriff. I have Dallas Killian, which is my chief deputy. Then I have Jared Simmons. He's a night shift sergeant. Then I have Scott Arnold, which is our detective and a sergeant on day shift. From that point, then we go to Buck Seeger, which is a school resource officer. Then we have Kane Oscathorpe, which is a night shift. We have Alyssa Lee, which is his partner on nights. Then we have Tyler Miskell and Bryce Manning, which is on day shift. Then we have Jared Simmons on nights with Chase Daughterwich. And then we have Briar Medders and Glenn Landstrom on day shift rotations. So for the most part, we have 2 deputies covers the road in our county on each rotation. So we have 2 on days, 2 on nights. That being said, myself and Dallas is on day shift. And then we have Aaron Hadley, which is paper service. He runs paper service through the Monday through Friday. We have Torrin Shover, which is at the courthouse security. So we have several people, but they all have their own individual daily duties that they have to do. Most
of the people that you're naming, they're Pike County born and bred.
Absolutely. Yeah. Most of them I've coached in high school at some point. Yeah. So it's been nice to be able to watch these kids grow up from elementary school to middle school and high school, and then come to me and look at pursuing law enforcement.
Boy, that's one of your benefits. You know all these kids.
Yeah, it helps.
They know you, and you're always a resource for them as well.
Yeah, and that's what I look at. I mean, I'm not just a sheriff. I mean, I'm no better than anybody else that works for my department, you know. So, I mean, I do just as much as work as I try to, just as much as they do. If I fill in or whatever it might be, if I need to do transports or whatever it is, I try to do it show them that I can do just as much as they can.
What'd you do yesterday?
I spent about 15 and a half hours driving. Yeah, for a transport. Yeah. Taking
a youth.
Yeah.
To northern Indiana, bringing him back for
yeah
court date.
Yeah. So and it went very well. And the juvenile was glad to see me. He knew me. I've known him for a long time. So we had great conversations on the way there and on the way back, and everything went smooth. So
brings us into something else.
Yeah.
Our juvenile situation used to not too long ago, you were able to take him to Vincent's.
Absolutely.
That's not the case anymore.
That's not the case anymore. So, that shut down a couple of years ago, and we've got handed a pretty raw deal where we have no juvenile detention area. So we're taking kids that have to go to Mishawaka, to around Jeffersonville, to New Albany, to up around Ball State. And we're driving several hours.
That's a lot of windshield time.
A lot of windshield time. Yeah. And that takes an officer out of our county, when we do that.
It takes you away from.
And it takes me
pulling everybody together.
Yeah. But that's the hand we've been dealt for now, and until we figure something out, that's what we'll keep doing. So.
It seems like there would be a better option for Southwest Indiana than having to.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We've talked about it, and we've looked at different things, avenues on how to do stuff, but it's expensive. The juvenile detentions are mostly privately owned, and they come in and they start something up, and it's a moneymaker for somebody, and there's big money in it, but. We're just not blessed right here where we live at around our area that no one has stepped up. Now, supposedly we might have somebody maybe buying the one in Vincent's and revamping it and starting it back up, but we're waiting to hear back from that. So,
private business, you don't know yet.
No, yeah.
It leads us into a new program you've initiated or together, community.
Yeah.
Handle with Care.
Yes.
And it seems to be getting some steam, working the way it's around the state. Explain Handle with Care to us.
So Handle with Care is driven by the Indiana Department of Health, and they came to our school and got in contact with Don Lincooler probably about a year or two ago, and wanted us to try to implement a program with them in our school, kind of a test run to see how things would work. Once we sat down with Handle with Care, Don and I did, and started talking about it. This is something that our school system and our sheriff's office had already started, and they were kind of blown away that we had already kind of taken initiative in doing something like this. So they were really, really pleased on what we were doing. We kind of took the two programs and made them mash into one. And they came back and done a video this year of their thing on what Handle with Care really means. And Don Lincooler has been an asset for the school with this. I mean, she's worked really hard with them on this, and it's been a blessing because I've seen impacts of the impact of what it does for a child in our school system. So I mean, I fully believe what we're doing the right thing with this. The video came out just the other day, and if you want to get on there and get on to Indiana Department of Health, and there's a link on that that says Handle with Care. Click on the link. It's all local people doing the video, and from since that video started, I think there's been several sheriff's offices in the state that's already applied to be a part of this, and it just keeps growing. And our vision is to have every sheriff's office, police department, fire, EMS, in the state in this program, So, that's all driven by Pike County people.
It's harder. It seems like it's harder for kids to be kids today.
Absolutely. We expect so much more out of them. Yeah.
And that transcends to school.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep, I agree. So, it's tough being a kid. So.
They face things that we didn't.
Oh gosh, they face 10 times more than what we ever thought about facing because of.
Yeah, and there's so much influence that's not necessarily good influence.
Yes.
It depends how you're directed to that. It
Right.
all starts at home, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Starts at home. Yeah. So, I mean, my biggest thing with phones, excuse me, and like I said, I've had 2 boys, growing up, is pay attention to what they're doing on their phones. That's the biggest thing, and I understand kids the older they get, the more privacy they want, but still be able to, as a parent, I think the parents have that right to be able to at least check their phones, make sure that what they're looking at, what they're reading, what they're sending out is appropriate. Yeah. It's as easy as just checking. So.
It seems like we've lost so much of God in this society.
I agree with that.
And you talk about it not being in schools. Well, it's got to start at the kitchen table.
Absolutely.
And if it starts at the kitchen table, it's going to move into
Absolutely.
the schools.
It's going to move into the schools. Yeah.
Going on a different subject, let's go back. Illegal immigration. We're seeing it change nationally. We've got this interstate coming right through Pike County. Mm-hmm. Fentanyl.
Yes.
Is all that changing? Is it getting better? How bad did it get?
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, it's changed a bunch, but yes, we are seeing more and more fentanyl use in our county than we ever have. Fentanyl is not only dangerous to the person that's using it, but it's dangerous for the people that have to around it. And the problem we have is we don't know how much it is going around, far as like if it's getting tied in with marijuana, it's getting tied in with the meth, it's getting tied in with whatever they can mix it in. They're pressing pills with fentanyl in them. So I mean, we're seeing it a lot. And like I said, our guys, when we go to a call overdose or whatever it might be, I mean, our guys are trying to do everything they can to protect themselves so they don't get it on them or in them, So, because that's the last thing we need is an officer to go down because of mishandling the use of fentanyl. Yeah.
What are your other big challenges today?
Probably is really call volume. I mean, we have an outrageous call volume right now that we are on. Our sheriff's department takes a lot of calls, and just keeping guys, in the area. They might be down. They might have a call in Union, and next thing you know, you got 2 guys in Union, and all of a sudden something breaks out in Spurgeon or Lake Helmrich. We have almost 400 square miles of county, and for them to get from one spot to the other, it's a challenge sometimes to get to them calls. We always get to them, but or we might have one of our guys at the hospital with somebody that just arrested. So we've got to make sure that a second guy comes out, or I come out, or Dallas or somebody calls on, to make sure we always try to have 2 people on a shift, so we have adequate coverage for the people in our county and our that we can take calls.
Geographically, we are bigger than New York City.
Absolutely.
Population-wise, we're 12,500 people.
Yeah. It's amazing. I got to go with your wife on a school trip.
Right.
And a couple of years ago when my boy was a senior, and I talked to a few of the officers in New York City, and I introduced myself and told them who I was. And they asked me, they said, well, how many people do you have? And I said, well, I have 14 counting me. And they looked, just shocked. And I said, why is that? And he said, how do you cover that many square miles with 14 people? I said, well, we just make it work. And I said, well, how many do you have? And they said, probably around 30,000.
Right.
It was just mind blowing how many, but they do. But the amount of people they have, it was
concentrated.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was amazing. So they make it work. We try to make it work. Yeah.
And we have limited resources.
Absolutely.
We just don't. We don't have the tax base.
Absolutely not. No. So.
And as the power plants changing and energy changes.
Yeah.
And Senate bills change.
Yes.
We get lost in the shuffle.
Absolutely. Yep. So.
And there's less. We've always got to sharpen that pencil and find out what has to be done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you're covering Stendal to Union, Hazleton area to Otwell. That's a big map.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We try to, I mean, I tell our guys to try to get guys and girls. I don't want to leave Alyssa out, but we try to make sure that they're seen in every inch of the county as much as they can. You know, I want the community to understand that we're out there. If they need us, you know, we're going to be there to help them and protect them. So our job is first to serve and protect the people in the community, and then on top of that, then we also want to make sure that the drugs and the stuff is out of our county, and our guys are doing a really good job of really working that. So
you used to. I had a theory that you had about a year and a half learning curve in your new career. Your career's always changing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always changing. You know, we have a really good pipeline of sheriffs that you know, if I've not seen something, you know, we're seeing something new, I can always reach out and contact local other sheriffs, you know, sometimes from Vanderbilt County or Knox County or wherever it might be at, and get the information and find out, you know, if they've seen what we're seeing, and if they did, how they doing with it. So it's nice to be able to have that camaraderie of sheriffs to be able to sit down and discuss and, you know, figure out what everybody else is doing or seeing. So
yeah, I like your protect and serve. Sometimes you're in other communities and you think their motto is intimidate and harass.
Yeah, that's not our motto, and the guys know that we're not here for that. You know, we want to protect and serve first. I want my guys to be able to be as nice as we can and show respect.
That smile and that wave mean a lot.
Means a bunch. It means a bunch. Yeah. I've got a couple of letters in the last week or two, and we get them every once in a while. Our guys will stop and help somebody change a tire, or they'll stop and help with somebody with a fender bender or whatever, and getting them emails from the public saying, "Hey, I really appreciate you guys doing what you did. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to do this." You know, but they want above and beyond to help out, and to me, it's not really above and beyond. To me, that's their job. You know, so. And
they don't always know what they're walking up to.
Absolutely not. You don't know what it is. Yeah.
It's not always the 90% of the good people. Sometimes you're walking into a different situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, you might think you're pulling up on a regular stop or a flat tire, and it could be totally different once you walk up to that door or that car. Yeah. So.
Do we see much influx of other people from Interstate 69 coming through here? Or have you the stuff we watch on the news from the larger community? Do we deal with child trafficking, things of that nature?
I think that we're starting to see more of that. I think that when it comes down to it, is that, you know, I-69, I mean, we were at about 17 miles almost through our county, you know, and there's not too many places to stop at. So we do see a lot of people that come in off the interstate into our county to get to the gas station or whatever it might be. And once they see our community, sometimes they might not stop that time, but maybe the next time, you know. So we're seeing people coming in and out of our, you know, in our community off I-69. A lot of them are good people, you know, just here to get gas and food and get back on the interstate and go. But then we've also seen the other part of that. Yeah. You know, we've had in the last couple of years, we've had people come off I-69, come into our community and do some bad things. And that's just what we get when we have a major interstate. Now, I think once it gets connected down in Henderson, Kentucky, and the bridges gets built and it's a straight, I think
Mexico to Canada.
I think that's going to be a total change. You know, I think we'll see a lot more of stuff coming in and out. So, yeah.
how you've got this program tonight. How else does the community and the sheriff's department need to work together?
I think for a safe community and for a drug-free community, I mean, all the information that the community can help us with, as far as if you have neighbors that are suspicious, that are doing activities at night that maybe it looks suspicious. If you know that there's a illegal drug activity going on and you're afraid to say something, we have an anonymous tip line. We have officers out there. You can contact me, whatever it is that you want to do. Let us know about it. We'll look into it and we'll try to get it stopped, because that's the biggest thing we want. We want this community to be as safe as we can be. But to do that, we have to have the drugs out of our community. So the more the help that the community can give us as far as tips, information, the best it would, that's the way it works. So we can't do anything about it if we don't know about it.
You work well with your chief deputy?
Absolutely. Dallas he's a blessing to have as a chief deputy. I mean, he's very bright. He runs our K-9 unit as well, so he stays busy. He gets called out a lot at night with our K-9 and through the daytime stuff. So, he is very, very versed in what he does and does a great job.
Buck has the job that you had a few years ago. He relishes that, doesn't he?
Oh, Buck, he loves being out there at the school system. Kids love him. I tease him all the time because I think if you take the uniform off of him, you wouldn't know if he was a kid or an adult, because he loves
Cutting
being
up.
up. Yes, and that's in that part of that job, you've got to be able to relate to the kids and get on that. That's the biggest thing with that position out there at school is you want that kid to feel comfortable with you. I mean, Buck's got a serious job out there, and I mean, he wants to protect each and every one of them kids and staff members in our school system, but also he has to be able to relate to them so they can come to him with information and
that's going to carry over years down.
Oh, absolutely, carries over for a long time. Absolutely, yep. So,
what do you need from us? What do you need from the community?
I think just the biggest thing is just information, and then if there's issues out there, let us know. We'll try to help the community out as much as we can, if sometimes we're not pleased. We can't please everybody, but I am here to tell you we will try to please as many people as we can. Sometimes it don't always fall your way, but we're here to help you guys and, just be understandable for what we do. We're blessed to live where we live at. A lot of times I can go into one of the local restaurants and eat lunch one time and people's, hey, I'll buy your lunch or I'll do this. We appreciate that so much, and that people don't have to do that. That's not what we're go to lunch for. But there's a lot of places in our country that despise.
Yeah.
And we're blessed to live where we live at, and I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. People still respect what we do and believe in what we do, and it's not like that everywhere. So.
Yeah, you feel sorry for some of those officers in the bigger community. You think, how do they?
Yeah.
And maybe that's why the attitude separating them from the community has become what it's become.
Yeah. So, I just want the community to understand that, like I said, we're here to protect and serve and do whatever we can to help the community out. And by doing that, give us information, help us with information that you might see or know. And, when we work together with the community, then we have a safer place to live in. Yeah. So.
Sheriff, what else do we need to talk about?
I'm trying to think. We got school starting back up this week. This will be the first week.
We are in session.
In session. Hopefully that's all going good. Another thing that we're going to start doing, bus arms, stop arms for buses. We're going to be out patrolling morning routes and afternoon routes and making sure no one running the stop arms. We have a lot of people in our community right now with the solar workers and the solar panel stuff, and so we're going to really pay attention to the bus routes and start watching, make sure that kids are getting on and off the bus safely. So we'll be out doing that. Is another big program.
You don't have enough cars to keep up with all those buses.
No, we don't. Well, we're going to try. we're going to try to hit it, all the routes we can possibly hit. Yeah. Huh. So, yeah. So that's the biggest thing, is making sure these kids, especially these little kids, getting on and off the bus is getting home safe and getting to school safe.
Sheriff, we still need to pay some bills, so I'm going to break and
perfect.
We're going to try to pay some bills real quick. Recently, the real estate market has been unpredictable, but at Harris Real Estate, we still have clients looking for homes and properties. Let us help you sell your home or property and or find your next one. We're local, we know the business, we know the community. Harris Real Estate has listed and sold hundreds of properties right here. Harris Real Estate, 812-380-1065. And also, when you wash your vehicle on a regular basis, there are many advantages. You're easier to see, you preserve the life of your vehicle, help maintain its value, protect its paint, prevent corrosion, and it just looks better. It only takes 6 quarters or your credit card swipe to get it started. Stop by Petersburg Car Wash today. Petersburg Car Wash, home of the Springtime Yellow Mustang. 401 South 9th Street, Petersburg. Keep it clean. Sheriff, I see you at the car wash quite a bit.
Absolutely. You. I try to keep my cars as clean as I can. So my wife, she's always wanting their car cleaned, and I try to keep a clean vehicle. So.
And you're always on a dusty county road.
Absolutely. So, I can wash it, and you never know where we're going to go to. So.
What else do we need to talk about before we wrap things up for today? I know you've got a busy day ahead of you.
Just the other thing that I wanted to kind of reach out to that the community know is our drone program. A lot of people don't know that the Pike County Sheriff's Office has our drone program that we implemented about a year or so ago. I think that drone program, we've had several launches that we've done searches for individuals, lost kids, whatever it might be, and it has been a game changer in the way we do policing.
You had a hostage situation?
We had that came up. We use it for that. So we've used that drone more than what we thought we would use it. And like I said, it is a game changer for us to be able to get eyes on an area or help us look for an individual that's lost in the woods or whatever it might be, without having to really send a lot of people in with the unknown. So that has been a blessing to have that. Briar Metters, Deputy Metters, is running that program and does an excellent job with that. The other program that we wanted to talk real quick about is our SRT team and Special Response Team. And most of our deputies are on that Special Response Team. So if we have something that pops up that we need extra officers out for, these guys train all the time and do searches of buildings. That would be like something happened at one of the elementary schools or one of the schools. Our SRT team would actually get called out for that. And they work very, very well together, and they're specialized in what they do. They all have a job on that team, and so we're getting there. Our department is small compared to a lot, but we take care of what we have to, and our guys and girls that's on our department they bought into the program and they're doing very well with it. So, but that's another program that we use.
You have a busy team, don't you?
We have a very busy team. Yeah, we have a very busy team, but we have a lot of. Like I said, it's a big county, so we're we try to keep everybody we can safe and. Sometimes I feel like I overwork them, but there's
job's got to get done.
You got to do what you have to do. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, Sheriff, thanks for stopping in.
Absolutely.
We hope you come back.
Absolutely, anytime. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us for this program of WFPC Podcasting. The program is brought to you by Harris Real Estate and Petersburg Car Wash. Please like the podcast and share with your friends so more people can hear about WFPC. You may find WFPC Podcasting on our website, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your favorite media. Join us next Friday for another WFPC podcast exploring the people, information, and the news right here in Pike County. See you next week.
Welcome to WFPC Podcasting, your local source for the heart and history of Pike County, Indiana. From back roads to town centers, we bring you the voices, stories, and news that shape our community. Join us on this journey through the past, present, and future of Pike County, Indiana. Tune in next week for the next episode of WFPC Podcasting.